Element: watercolor, white quality, cardinal day, Monday, Thursday ruler. Moon greatest overall compatibility. Capricorn, Taurus lucky numbers. 2, 3, 15, 28 range. June 21st to July 22nd Cancer. June 21st to July 22nd, Cancer traits strengths. Tenacious, highly imaginative, loyal, emotional, sympathetic, persuasive weaknesses. Moody, pessimistic, suspicious, manipulative, insecure Cancer likes. Art, home-based hobbies, relaxing near or in water, helping loved ones, a good meal with friends Cancer dislikes. Strangers, any criticism of mom, revealing of personal life deeply intuitive and sentimental. Cancer can be one of the most challenging zodiac signs to get to know. They are very emotional and sensitive, and care deeply about matters of the family and their home. Cancer is sympathetic and attached to people they keep close. Those born with their sun in Cancer are very loyal and able to empathize with other people's pain and suffering. The sign of Cancer belongs to the element of water, just like Scorpio and Pisces. Guided by emotion and their heart, they could have a hard time blending into the world around them. Being ruled by the moon, phases of the lunar cycle deepen their internal mysteries and create fleeting emotional patterns that are beyond their control. As children, they don't have enough coping and defensive mechanisms for the outer world, and have to be approached with care and understanding, for that is what they give in return. Lack of patience or even love will manifest through mood swings later in life, and even selfishness, self-pity or manipulation. They are quick to help others, just as they are quick to avoid conflict, and rarely benefit from close combat of any kind, always choosing to hit someone stronger, bigger, or more powerful than they imagined. When at peace with their life choices, Cancer representatives will be happy and content to be surrounded by a loving family and harmony in their home. Cancer. The brave crab sent to this earth by something they believe in, only to mess with someone bigger than they are. This isn't an animal aware of their strength. Patriotism can make them endanger their own well-being, fighting for someone else's cause, as if others can become their higher power. The crab knows where they're going, but this is often in a wrong direction, at least until they learn their lessons and start relying solely on themselves. Cancer love and sex. Cancer is a very emotional sign, and feelings are the most important thing in their relationships. Gentle and caring, they will show their sensibility to the world without even thinking they might get hurt. For partners, they always choose a person who is able to understand them through non-verbal, silent contact, and a shared daily routine, and their affection won't last long with superficial, flaky or unreliable partners. The lack of initiative these individuals suffer from won't make it easy for them to build a sex life they wish for, if they don't find a partner who is able to make them feel calm, protected, and free to express. This is a dedicated sign, ready to make many unhealthy compromises only to keep their image of a family going, and could choose partners who are in a way selfish or abusive. Shared responsibility and a life together with their partner makes them feel secure and ready for the next step in life, no matter if it is a child, a new job, or simply a cleanup in the field of friendships and relationships that became obsolete or hurtful. In love with children, parenthood, marriage and traditional values, they can still be misguided by people they admire and trust into changing their honest approach to a modern one that doesn't fit their true personality.
Compassion and understanding that a Cancer chose to send your way shouldn't ever be taken for granted, or they will show you just how bad of a match you two are in the long run. For now, you can check Cancer-born compatibility by matching the signs here. Cancer friends and family friends. When it comes to friendships, Cancer representatives will gladly connect with new social contacts, but are extremely sensitive of people not approved by their closest surrounding. Filled with respect for people they communicate to easily, they see all contacts through their emotional prism rather than simple curiosity or status. Most of all, they enjoy socializing at home, where intimate atmosphere can be made and deep understanding shared in circumstances under their control. Intuitive and compassionate, they are sometimes impossible to understand from an extremely rational point of view. Family. Cancer is the sign of family, and these individuals care about family bonds and their home more than any other sign of the zodiac. Deeply sentimental, they tend to diligently preserve family memories, keeping them intact for years. When their personal lives are fulfilled, they make wonderful, caring parents that seem to know how their children feel even when they are miles apart. Cancer career and money. When a job needs to get done, a Cancer will roll their sleeves up and finish it successfully. If they are left alone to work, They usually perform better than when surrounded by other people, loyal to their employer and focused on the task. They will have great careers as nurses, housekeepers, gardeners, politicians and decorators. For Cancer representatives, security and money are of great importance and stand for the real reason they work as much as they do. They easily earn money and aren't used to spending it all in one day. It is their goal to save, invest, and watch their investments grow daily. Resourceful and good at managing time and finances, this is a sign that is often in charge of all money in the household, keeping their partner or other family members under control. How to attract the Cancer man? A Cancer man is conservative just enough to know that initiative is important, but often fails to show it before he feels safe to do so. His partners need to make the first move, but still doing it subtly to let him still feel like he is leading the way. This is a complex individual, very sensitive, shy and overly protective of his loved ones. When he prefers women, he will subconsciously search for the ideal wife and mother. A Cancer man is an emotional person, who loves to take care of other people. He wants to feel needed and protective, receiving a lot of attention from his partner through kind words and subtle concerns and compliments to make his day. Although he can be moody, pessimistic and clingy, he is a creative and generous partner in search for someone to share a life with. How to attract the Cancer woman? Cancer personality can be quite complicated, but deep inside they are home-loving and conservative people. A Cancer woman is vulnerable, emotional, and not likely to quickly fall in love. Once her trust is earned, she will be passionate and loyal. In order to seduce her, one has to be proactive and make the first move, respecting her need to be treated like a lady. She is not the right choice for someone in search for a one-night stand, and needs more from her partner than just casual encounters. Romantic and ready to love. This woman needs a romantic partner who believes in love, while also in tune with her unspoken feelings. Despite her cautious nature, a Cancer woman is deeply erotic, and when feeling secure to show her true personality and emotions, they will be expressed through an incredible sex life. To have lasting relationship with a Cancer woman, she needs someone faithful, respectful and honest, for doesn't forget betrayal and becomes very rigid and unpredictable when hurt. The history of Cancer. The sign of Cancer does not coincide with the Cancer constellation. In the zodiac, it takes the fourth 30 degrees of the circle and begins with the first day of summer. Cancer is a cardinal sign, which means it marks the start of a season in the same way as Aries marks the beginning of spring. In the ancient times, the constellation of Cancer was positioned at the same place as the most northerly location of the Sun, representing the summer solstice. Its name is Latin for crab, but we can hardly recognize the looks of a constellation with a naked eye. It looks more like an upside-down letter, Y. It is the dimmest of all zodiacal constellations, located between Gemini and Leo. It was often considered the dark sign, described as black and without eyes because of its dim appearance. Cancer, the crayfish or crab, is said to have been a place for the Mesopotamian sun of the south and was afterwards associated with the fourth month Duzu that falls in June to July of the modern Western calendar. It was also known as the northern gate of the sun. The myth of Cancer. The myth of Cancer is probably the shortest myth of all. It speaks about a family mess as a consequence of one of Zeus' infidelities that resulted in birth of Heracles, one of the greatest Greek heroes. Hera, the wife of Zeus, hated Heracles out of jealousy and wanted him gone. While he was fighting the great Hydra, out of love for Hera, a crab sneaked in and pinched Heracles' foot. As a result, he smashed the crab with one step, and that is mostly the end of it. There is mention of another way to interpret Cancer, through the role of the giant crab that Poseidon, the god of the sea, put in charge to keep his nymphs safe. He was mostly successful in his endeavors, but got tricked by the vampire squid that he sent to save a couple of nymphs who got away. As a result of the fight with the squid, he was crippled and because of his immortality, in pain forever. The connection between the Cancer myth and the Cancer zodiac sign. A myth of Cancer shows someone who is not aware of their true strength. People who are in connection with the sign or the constellation of Cancer have to deal with a family mess and often have prejudice against those hated by their mother, their ruler or their wife. They can also be true patriots, loyal to their queen, as well as overly protective. They are easily convinced to go into battle, even if they are only to pose as collateral damage. This myth points to those who are overly sensitive, but ready to charge on a much bigger enemy because their emotions prevail over logic. If they take on more than they can handle, they could end up getting hurt and even be crippled for life. Cancer symbol. The symbol for Cancer represents crab's claws, that don't easily let go of things that take a grip on. Another interpretation of this symbol states that two circles are supposed to represent the sun and the earth, connected by two arches of crescent moons, posing as a fine natural balance of the universe. Cancer ruler. The sign of Cancer is ruled by the moon, and this makes its role in the zodiac extremely important. It would take us a long time to write about the mythology behind the moon, because there are many myths on all the continents that are linked to its existence. Scientific fact can serve us well to understand how important the moon is, as it controls the movements of all water on our planet, making life as we know it possible, even though this side of the moon is rarely discussed. Its lack of atmosphere makes it sensitive to different sorts of space debris that can damage its surface, but this also makes information on its surface stay there for a long time. There is no wind, rain or other environmental conditions that might make a footprint left in 1969 on its surface disappear. When you think of the astrological background of the moon, you can see that it is as sensitive and unprotected as the heavenly body itself, while it holds information for centuries, about us, our genetics, our family tree and our everlasting soul. The symbol for the moon is a crescent. When turned to the right, as the letter C, it represents a descending phase, while turned to the left it represents an ascending phase of the moon. Usually only the ascending moon is used in chart drawings, but its phase could point to the details of certain situations and their orientation. Crescent, in general, denotes the mind, and the moon is in charge of our psychological state, memory and the brain's gray matter itself. Gemini man in love. When a Gemini man falls in love, it is hard to say how long it will last. He needs change and responds to the excitement and the surprising nature of their loved one. While he feels emotion, he thinks that it goes deep and will rarely ask himself if it is just something that will pass tomorrow. Enjoying the moment, he could truly get on their partner's nerves if they constantly try to make plans for their future together. This doesn't mean Gemini partner doesn't care, but he needs spontaneity in his life because everything else makes him feel tied down. He is gentle, exciting, changeable, detached and can certainly make a woman laugh. He is all those things in one person and all in one day, every day. Gemini man sexuality. This is a man who gives little meaning to the act of sex. He has a youthful glow around him and will usually be potent for many years, but he doesn't care about sex as much as he cares about the excitement that goes with it. He wants someone to challenge him but not dig into his insecurities. He needs someone smart enough who says the right things at the right time. He likes sex outdoors and can be quite a pervert, with no ill intention hidden. If he is in a long-term relationship, he will expect change in their sexual activities all the time, almost as if he is frightened of the routine and what it represents. Gemini needs to be on the move, always changing partners, positions or locations. Gemini man in relationships. You couldn't exactly say that a Gemini man is dependable or reliable. He has no intention of letting their partner down, but he is not aware of the speed of changes in his feel of reality. When he is in love for real, he will have seasons in his feelings no matter the love. From spring and blossoming desire, to winter and unbearable distance, he is a difficult man to be with if you expect consistency. The only way he can remain in a functional relationship is if he finds a partner who is self-sufficient and fully independent. If he finds a partner who catches a glimpse of his winter and leaves him to boil waiting, someone to love him in the exact same way as he loves, but with a little more patience. Can you trust your Gemini man? This is a difficult question to answer, and the answer would most frequently be a simple, no. You cannot trust your Gemini partner. This is not because he is a pathological liar, but because there is no way to predict what tomorrow will bring to his mind or his heart. There are many things he can say in the heat of the moment, And these are all complex mathematical equations that you have to decipher if you want to know if he meant to say what he said and understand what he actually wanted to say. However, if he shares his life with a partner with real emotional depth, able to feel his inner personality that doesn't change overnight, he is a lucky man who will never betray his partner's trust. Dating Gemini men, there is no way of knowing where he will want to take you out. He is not one of those traditional men who has the need to make the first step, and will gladly accept someone's invitation to any place that sounds interesting. If he develops feelings, he will surprise his partner with different places, presents and all sorts of creative spices to their dating life. It is impossible to get bored with Gemini, unless they talk too much, and this is also something that can be changed with one conversation. The best way to describe the dating life of Gemini is, anywhere and anyhow, for as long as it is spontaneous and carefree. Understanding Gemini men, usually Gemini is something like a superficial guinea pig to other people. The truth is his nature is not at all light and superficial, but very complex and hard to reach. If you are superficial yourself, you will never get beyond Gemini's surface that everyone is allowed to see. This is a man distant from his own emotions and needs to get to the burning core of his heart, but doesn't know how to do that. If he's been hurt by his family, there is a great chance he will never go deep enough to understand himself, and then it is even more difficult for others to actually see him. If someone recognizes the core of a Gemini man, they will find that there is a root to all that childish charm and an incredible inner beauty.